right, so this is the IB history exam, and it depends. Like you can do, in IB, just to go ahead and give you a really quick summary. So in IB, the traditional track is that you sit for 3 exams in standard level and 3 exams in higher level. Now, occasionally, only rarely, we allow kids to sit for 4 HL exams and 2 SL, but you can't do the opposite. You can't do 4 SL and 2 HL. You have to at least do 3 to 4 HL. I don't recommend that. The reason why is once you begin to do 4 HL, the amount of points needed to get your diploma increases. Right now, under the 3 and 3, you only need a 24 out of 40, I think it's like 45 points to get your IB diploma. But once you start doing 4 HLs, it becomes a little more difficult, and you need to have a 28 to get your IB diploma. And then there's all kinds of rules about, you can't have less than a 4 in any of your HLs. So you're just kind of asking for a lot of a situation. It's not so good. So we recommend the 3 and 3 model. So you get a choice. You take your 6 classes and you decide. You don't have to do this year. You actually decide this your senior year and what you want to HL and what you want to SL. But it bears mentioning, because I'm about to go into it, that you need to be thinking about these choices. Which way do you want to track? Some of my kids who struggle in history typically HL it because you get more points. Then again, some of my kids that are really good at history HL it because you get so many. You get more points. So history is one of those popular ones. A lot of kids do HL it, but you can standard level this exam. To standard level it, you will do an internal assessment, which we'll talk about after this. It is 25% of your total score. And then you do a paper 1 exam. Paper 1 exam is 1 hour. It's timed. It's very strict and has 4 questions. And you answer these 4 questions over 5 documents. And it will fall somewhere within the rise of fascism from 1932 to 1942. So they'll either ask you about Italian and German fascism, or they will ask you about Japanese fascism. And so this is really your document-based question. It is strictly timed. So normally, again, you have 4 questions. So normally the timing is you spend 10 minutes on question 1, 10 minutes on question 2, 15 minutes on question 3, and 25 minutes on question 4, because question 4 requires prior knowledge, and that's your mini exam question. And again, we'll get into practicing, but it's just a good overview. If you're SLing, you then take a paper 2 exam as well. You get 1 hour and 30 minutes to take a paper 2 exam. You write 2 essays over 2 different topics. So our topics for paper 2, and we study really at the end of your junior year, we start paper 1, and then your senior year is really just paper 1 and paper 2 because it's all 20th century. So we start your junior year in the 1800s, and then we move to the 20th century for your senior year. So these 2 topics that we cover your senior year are going to be the Cold War and 20th century wars and warfare. Incidentally, both of these topics are also on the HL exam, and so how I've designed this course is so that both HL and SL students are preparing for an exam. It's going to be slightly different because my higher level students also do an internal assessment, but it's only worth 20% of their total score. They do both papers 1 and 2, and then they do a paper 3. Paper 3 is 3-hour exam. It is, you write 3 essays over a choice of 24 questions. The topics that I choose to teach are, and this is our first one, we'll actually start with the French Revolution and move into Napoleon because you can't really understand German and Italian unification without it. So we start the French Revolution in 1789, and then we go up to the Cold War. And this way, we do this your junior year, and this way we're covering topics, again, that might be asked on the paper 1 or paper 2 exam, and then we're going into more detail for your paper 3 exam. So those topics are, again, German and Italian unification. Then we look at international relations between 1872 and 1914, and then we look at the interwar period between 1914 and 1938. So this is a summary of really what we're going to study over the next 2 years.